Today I want to talk about a question I've been asked a lot since living in Germany. Is Germany racist?
Tom Guten Tag and Heil Hitler, apparently we are living in Nazi Germany.
During that time, I didn't experience anything that would make me think Germany is racist, but as we all know, racism is a very complex thing and it differs from country to country. So let's dive into this topic from my perspective and let's talk about what I observed. First, a little bit about my experience. I lived in Hanau, a city with a pretty diverse population, and the closest big city is Frankfurt. While there are definitely some cultural differences compared to New York, especially in terms of diversity, it's important to acknowledge that you'll find people from a variety of backgrounds in Germany. In New York, we're used to seeing a mix of Caribbean people, and that's not as prominent in Germany. However, in cities like Frankfurt, you'll see a lot of Turkish, Armenian, African, and other international communities. It's definitely not homogeneous. Now, when it comes to day-to-day interactions, I never felt out of place, uncomfortable, or felt any prejudice. So my friend group in Germany was really diverse, and I felt like people were genuinely accepting. I'm sure some of you might think I'm speaking from a place of privilege, but I'm just speaking from my experience. I know Germany doesn't have as many immigrants from the Caribbean, but it's home to many Turkish, African, and Arab descent. You can find diverse communities that contribute to the culture, food, and social landscape. One thing I'll say is that even though you might not speak fluent German, you can still get by. Especially in bigger cities like Frankfurt, Berlin, or Munich, most people speak at least some English and they're happy to help. So if you're worried about the language barrier, don't be. You'll find it very doable, and many Germans appreciate when a foreigner tries to make an effort to learn their language. I do want to acknowledge that racism does exist everywhere. It's one of those things that unfortunately every country has to deal with one way or another.
On your marks, get set, white guys, go!
I have high hopes for this. I had a Cliff Bar before we started.
Everybody else!
Phew, thought they were coming after us.
Germany is no exception. Like many places, there are prejudice, stereotypes, and isolated incidents of racism. But that doesn't mean that the entire country is defined by that. In fact, Germany has made strides in addressing racism and discrimination. They've had a long history of grappling with how to reconcile the past and create a more inclusive society.
I'm not seeing anything about German history between 1939 and 1945. There's just a big gap.
Everyone was on vacation!
There are anti-discrimination laws in place, and the country continues to work towards better integration of immigrants, especially those from Turkish and Middle Eastern backgrounds. However, just like any place in the world, there are pockets of racism that still need to be addressed. Whether it's through political discussions or individual experiences, Germany is no different from other nations when it comes to combating racism. But when it comes to my time there, I could say personally, I've never experienced anything that made me feel uncomfortable or unsafe because of my background. I think part of this may be due to how globalized some parts of Germany are, like Frankfurt. But I also think it's a reflection of the kindness and openness I encountered from people, whether they were locals or other expats. To answer the question, is Germany racist? I couldn't say yes or no. I believe racism exists everywhere, and Germany isn't immune to it. But based on my experience, I've never ran into any issues, felt targeted, or been discriminated against. And honestly, that's something I'm grateful for. It's important to note that everyone's experience is different, and some might face challenges that I've never ran into. But overall, Germany is a place that I found to be welcoming, diverse, and inclusive. Thanks for watching, and be sure to comment down below on you guys' experiences, whether it's in Germany or not. But be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and hit the bell icon to be notified when I drop a video.